hate the homies.
What it do, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another amazing episode of I Hate the Homies podcast. Rock Teasy's who I be.
Man, it's episode 34. Bo Jackson,
Don't do it.
Sweetness,
Wow.
Earl Campbell.
Walter Payton, Elijah Wan.
Come on, dog.
Jesus Shuttleworth.
You got them all right this time. Stop while you ahead.
He wasn't on last week.
All right.
I didn't miss this.
I'm playing
I really
makeup. I'm a makeup artist.
And somebody owe you some money.
we'll
Damn,
get to that.
Ollie.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. I am Super Dave, but guess what?
We don't care. Let's
Why
go,
you
man.
worrying about other people's pockets, homie? That was dirty right there, dog.
Hey,
that
man.
was super duper dirty. But tell them what we gonna talk about, and the first part is the money.
It's a tough world, man. National championship, Georgia, mollywopped TCU, 65-7. We're going to break down that doggone thing, give you our thoughts on that. We also got...
Hold on. They just scored again.
Oh,
Hold
they
on.
what?
They
Man.
just scored. Yeah.
Stop.
Oh, my God. Hold on.
Georgia!
The score is... What's the score to now?
200,000,000 to 11.
Oh, he came for 4 points.
Scored another touchdown, dog, on it.
And a couple safeties.
We're going to talk about NFL regular season being over and coaches that got fired and teams that should have made the playoffs but didn't, like my Detroit Lions.
Sure, there's a lot. The Steelers didn't make it, but Miami kicked the field goal, and so there's a lot of shout out to the Seahawks. I'm happy for
Geno Smith, man.
You got to be happy. Geno about to get a lick next year.
Yeah, so he played good enough to get that lick. So
Yeah.
we're going to touch on the wild card matchups and also Black Monday. As I said, coaches getting fired.
Why is always racism in this? Why they call it Black Monday?
Yeah.
Well, hell, Lovey Smith, again, Lovey is, let me tell you something. Lovey should have a bunch of jerseys in his house with different hats and jackets.
From college to
Yeah. He
NFL.
got a Juwan Howard closet of different teams that he done played for. Damn, Lovey.
Hey,
It was
dog.
the beard, dog. Cut
Yeah,
the beard,
yeah,
dog.
yeah.
Go back to the rock T-face, dog. Everybody can't rock this silver, dog.
know.
Lovey
Just-
Smith
He
look
do look like you, Griff.
I
He
know,
does look like you.
man. Like everybody can't rock it, dog. Just go back to clean face Lovey.
No, he looked like Mr. McDowell from Coming to America. That's what he looked
That's
like.
funny as hell. Who is actually from Good Times.
James Evans. That's Lovey Smith. Yeah. All right, Ray Duggar, let's go.
I hate the homies.
Okay, man, so I started watching this game, and Georgia came out blasting, scored easy like it wasn't about nothing. TCU, they came back.
Absolutely.
You know, and they like, okay, it was 10-7. Like, okay.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking it's going to be another Michigan TCU thing. We gonna,
Or something.
it's gonna be
Ohio
a-
State, Georgia.
Yeah,
something.
we're going to go back and
close,
forth.
Close.
Last team with the ball going to probably win.
Right. Man, you could have gave the first team, the middle team. You could have gave the dude just selling beers,
Right.
popcorn. Anybody get, man,
Georgia
everybody
said-
was scoring on TCU.
We go on this. Georgia said, listen, TCU, we think congratulations for making it to the big game. Okay, we're going to give you your props on that. But we're about to show you what real grown man football is all about. Now, I'm going to be the first to admit, listen, I picked TCU. When I
picked
seen
them with
TCU do what they did to Michigan,
Exactly.
I'm
I
like,
got respect for 'em.
okay, this could be a game. So I was wrong.
Stop it. We're not moving any further in this show without addressing the elephant in the room, which is my money. My money.
Hold on.
I bet Super Dave that Michigan would beat TCU $20 without thinking twice about it. Why you laughing?
Elephant
Right.
in the room and then looked up and down.
And like I had a trunk. And I was over here like just washing myself with a trunk. I got you, dog. Just write your cash app right there, dog. I got you, homie.
Oh,
Go
man.
ahead.
So how much did you lose again? How much?
$20.
20? Okay.
But before we get to the game, the TCU Georgia game, I would have figured out. I want him to understand how TCU got to the national championship game because they beat the sorry ass team I've been calling sorry all year, which is Michigan.
I can't
have I been saying it all
nothing.
year?
You have been saying it all year. Michigan ate an egg that was not Horton in that game. And I don't know if, let me tell you something. When you call somebody a Cinderella team and they make it that close, Georgia looked like a whole stepmother. You know how in Cinderella at midnight, the pumpkin go, the thing, everybody, the mice is not men no more. The carriage go back to a pumpkin. That's how TCU looked. They looked nothing like they looked all season, and that was just really weird. I don't know if they just really thought we beat Michigan and forgot and never been this far and was like, that was such a big deal, but that wasn't the same team that beat Michigan, man.
That's a good point, man. So the question is, was that TCU's bad game of the season, or was that Georgia obviously's best game of the season? Because any team can be beat on any given Sunday or any given day.
But you don't want to see. But that was like playing
a Pop Warner team.
No,
Texas, El Paso, UTEP. That was like UTEP, Alabama, dog.
Man, I think it was a balance of both. I ain't taking nothing for Georgia, man. Georgia, they are what they are.
They were supposed to do, and they been that.
They was clicking on all cylinders, and TCU. You know how a sprinter stumbles out the blocks, but then he gets his feet. Then he starts running, and he's back in the race.
Yeah.
They never could get their feet. They would stumble the whole damn game.
Something. They had different feet, dog. Like, it wasn't even the same feet that go with the ankles, dog. You know what sucked? I think at one point the whole country was like, come on, TCU.
Yeah, we were.
Like, you saw how the fan base looked in SoFi. It was all red.
Yep.
It was small patches of purple. But really, Georgia was playing a home game in Los Angeles. And for him to be head coach of the year, for Max Duggan to win the Davey O'Brien Award, and I saw him 4 quarters while I was in San Juan, Puerto Rico, dog the Wolverines. I mean, by himself. I was like, this is a different kind of dude, a senior that won it, and he wasn't. I don't know who that TCU was.
It was the Hollywood story when you talk about Max, because at the beginning of the season he wasn't the starting quarterback.
No, I know, yeah, of course.
He wasn't going to be the starting quarterback. The starting quarterback Moore got hurt. Duggan came in. That's why you try to tell kids. These kids are too soft these days. You tell the kids, stay ready. Yeah. Don't cry about what situation you're in at a particular time.
Right?
He got benched. He got benched, but he stayed ready. And look where he is right now.
Yeah.
He has a shot to go to the NFL. We don't know what he's going to do in the NFL. But concerning the game against Georgia, what Rock asked the question about, was it more Georgia? It was more Georgia than anything.
Having their best game.
It was their best game. I watched them all season. I watched them play Missouri. They struggled. And I know it's the SEC team.
Yeah, I remember
somebody
that
in your conference. They had a big question mark about that. Look at the Ohio State game just a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't struggle. They weren't playing defense.
They weren't playing defense.
And the coach was so mad after that game. The lady ran up on him. She was like, Coach? He was like, listen, we played horrible. We looked off. We're not going to win nothing playing like so. They went into that week.
Mm-hmm. And that was a game that was, to me, I don't care what you say, it was given to them, because once Marvin Harrison Jr. went out, it changed that. I'm talking about for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah.
Once he went out against Georgia, it changed that entire game, and it's how the Bulldogs
came back. Or your kicker
back.
just suck. So let me tell you something. If you're a kicker and I'm the coach, dog, I don't want to see you all practice. Kick the wall.
Right.
You can kick the wall for hours, dog. Kick the wall. I don't need you to run. I don't need you to be trying to jump in with the defense. Kick the wall, dog. That's all you got to do, dog.
Or defense, stop somebody.
And then that kick that the Ohio State kicker missed was awful. It wasn't even a veer left. It went sideways.
You can't even say shank to that one. It was a holy.
It's called nervous.
The UFO, dog.
It's called nervous. This separates the legendary people from the average players. It's like you gotta literally have ice in your veins if you want to play on this next level.
Well, Jimmy Johnson, former Cowboy coach, used to always say this: no matter how great your team is, and you can see the Cowboys were great in the 90s, but the one thing he always said, even with Georgia this season, you got to have a little luck. And they've been lucky.
Oh, yeah.
You look at a few games this season, they've been lucky. But they saved their best.
Yeah, they did.
For last.
Yeah, period.
They came in that game. They came in the game, and I think it was one of the reporters asking Kirby Smart before the game what can he expect from his team. He didn't make a long speech or anything like that. He just said aggression.
Huh.
And she said she was looking for more.
Right.
He was like, that's all I got.
That's it.
Aggression. And they came out and played like I've never seen a team play before. They came out on a mission.
They took TCU's soul, dog.
The funny thing is, at halftime, commentators that give you their opinions about the game.
Yeah.
And this was how I died laughing. All of them are going around the table. Hey, TCU, they've been in this position before. It's just a matter of time.
I did hear that
and then everybody else was like, nah, bro, it's over.
I agree.
Ain't gonna be no miraculous comebacks today.
Dog, when they walked into at the half, when TCU walked into SoFi's visitors hall, dog, the LSE that came out of the like I had to change the channel, so I ain't catch none of that LSE in my house. I felt bad about my own life when they was walking into, like, as a coach, what do you say?
Right.
Hey, guys.
Y'all did better than me.
Where's the Cheetos?
They said what you said the other day. They were like, hey, guys, maybe we should have let Michigan win.
Damn.
No, I saw that text from him.
Yeah, maybe we should.
No. We saw Michigan.
Hold on. Let's be a little more respectful of Michigan.
I'll never respect them.
No, only because you're an Oklahoma fan. You know, I told you the other day, I was like, man, the Cowboys, you said, Griff, never disrespect the Cowboys. Your team ain't nowhere close. And I had to eat that. Dog, you a proper Oklahoma fan. Miss me and Rock T about the playoffs or anything else. Your team all the way suck, dog. My team is just 2 years in a row sucking in the playoffs.
But they suck bad both times, and they should have beat a team.
Oh, I'm mad.
Okay, then
I got no excuse for him.
Don't try to sugarcoat it.
But don't just keep
At the
saying
end of the day-
horrible ass
at the end of the
Michigan.
day, what does he owe
You
me?
wouldn't have wanted to see Michigan and Georgia
Bro.
versus that stupid game we
He's
saw
still
last
talking.
night.
At the end of the day, what does he owe me?
He got a good point. How much you owe?
$20.
Okay.
Because whatever you say don't mean anything. It don't mean a damn thing to me.
Now,
All season long.
And I hope Cash App takes 43 cents off the top. Now look at it.
Now, on that point, I'm with you on that point. But at the end of the day, Super Dave, you're probably the guy that would call the Buffalo Bills of the 90s that got the 4 Super Bowls and lost all of them. You would still probably call them sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
they
at
didn't
him.
win
He
them.
had to think about it. Yeah.
No, they didn't win them.
But they got there 4 times. You can't call them sorry.
They
Who
led
remembers
the
second?
AFC.
Maybe, hey, you're right.
Who remembers second
You're
place?
right.
Okay, that's all that matters.
But you can't call them sorry.
Well, you know what? I won't use the word sorry.
They're one of the best teams ever.
I won't use the word sorry like I use for Michigan on them. Michigan is a waste of time.
Well, first of all, I would like to piggyback on yeah, dog, you are sorry, dog. 4 years in a row, y'all don't win the Super Bowl. All my friends that's really from Buffalo, at the 3rd Super Bowl, they was like, we got to pick a different team. They was in school. They was like, this is dumb.
So then now you got to pick a different team since Michigan.
Oh, no.
Because they sorry.
I'm here. I'm not, unlike
But
Buffalo people and
all right.
Detroit people that got to have a couple teams. Homie, Raider Nation, go blue. That's my whole
You got
life.
2 sorry ass teams.
I had to eat that. I had to eat that, but the Commanders look like real Commanders.
Why we going to the NFL right now?
Let's go to the NFL. Okay, let's talk about
because you're sensitive. No, but one more thing about everybody's talking about Georgia right now. And when you look at Georgia, the whole situation is, can they win 3 in a row? Because right now they're the favorites to go next season.
Yeah.
Alabama lost 2 close games against Tennessee and against LSU.
Yeah,
I'm not saying Alabama is there yet.
Let's not do
and
that.
now people want to go. Now Georgia's
They
a
got the whole
gold
dynasty.
standard.
right.
2. That's 2. How many does
Tap the
Alabama?
brakes.
Okay, then.
I'm right there with you. Tap
Yeah,
the
I'm
brakes.
not- yeah.
Slow it down.
But what I will say is for college, and this ain't NFL. These are not professional people. These are children. For a school to lose 16 people to the NFL, they're probably going to have at least 10 people go to the NFL again. Georgia is about to recruit something fierce, dog. Like something
But
fierce.
what do you have to win? What's the number one part other than your offensive and defensive line? Because you're going to lose the main person that got you there.
They
don't have no
that
backup?
nobody wanted. That nobody
Nobody
wanted.
Nobody wanted.
And that's a
nobody
grown
wanted.
man. He's 25, ain't he?
He's 25 years old. He's going to the
Man,
NFL.
Yes, sir.
And Kirby Smart said after the game, when his sons came to him and was crying, and he was like, son, why are you crying? He was like, because we're about to lose Kirby. I mean, to lose Stetson. Yes, of course. He's 25 years old.
Listen,
he
man,
has to move on.
Stetson, he earned my respect over the last couple
he
years.
did, yes.
Because that dude's story is amazing, like for real.
Yeah.
The
Tell
grit,
them for the people who don't know.
grit
Tell
and
them what
grind.
it
He's
is.
just nobody wanted him. Just like Dave said. I mean, he wasn't
simple.
He wasn't really a highly sought after recruit, and he was always too small. Kind of the Doug Flutie situation. Like
He's a little fella.
yeah, he's like he's
But
like
that heart, dog.
But he's
I'll
a
take
winner.
that heart, dog.
And you
Bro,
saw
I not take that
And you
hard,
saw,
dog.
all day.
and you saw it in the first quarter on that first drive.
What?
He had that $1 million smile
That
because
swag and that swag.
The
Like,
swag was something fierce. Give
once
me
he,
that.
Once he started smiling, I said, "This
If I
game is
could have
over."
got a
Come on,
quarter
dog.
of that from Derek Carr, dog,
I take players like that all day long.
Well, y'all did better than me because I didn't last for 3 quarters. I was out in the first quarter. I knew it was over. I ain't got to sit there and watch
Dog,
that.
I woke up right before the half and was like, come on, TCU. Come on, TCU. Because I ain't trying, I just figured if TCU could do Michigan the way they did, then they could stand a chance to do something. That was really, really bad. I feel sorry for Max Duggan because even in his trying, you could see his offensive line let him down. The whole defense went to sleep. And I just really don't. Maybe it's because they got caught up in the playoffs and we beat Michigan. Like, here you got Georgia who always make it to the end. You got somebody like Alabama who always make it to the end. You got these people, Ohio State, who always make it to the end so they don't be tripping off that first win. But I just feel like they really tripped off the first win and they look like the Atlanta Falcons playing Tampa in the Super Bowl.
So before we get into the playoff matchups, let's discuss some of the regular season final games in the NFL.
Yeah.
Buffalo playing. It doesn't matter who they played.
Let me tell you
The
something.
inspiration.
It's the spirit of DeMar, dog.
Come on, bro.
It's the spirit of DeMar.
Man.
Nobody want to see Buffalo.
And he talked to him right before the game
Dog.
from the hospital.
When the white boys was throwing up the threes, looking like they was gangbanging, dog, the tackles in the I said, it's over.
Yeah, dog.
It's gang,
You know
man.
what I'm
I don't
saying,
care.
dog?
Hey, it could've
When the
been-
white boys was going like this, dog, I was like, yo.
I don't care if the 72 Dolphins would have walked on the field. They would have got
The
smashed.
spirit of DeMar, dog.
I think the most incredible thing about Buffalo and playing the Pats over the New England Patriots over the weekend was you knew all the stuff that was going on with DeMar, but they came in on the first play. On the kickoff was a 92-yard return for a touchdown.
Homie.
92 yards.
The whole city was
The
sitting
whole
there
city
waiting.
just-
Come on, dog.
They went
First
crazy.
play of the game,
Come on,
dog.
dog.
You can't. The momentum, even in the video game, in Madden, the
Yeah.
momentum meter now.
Yeah.
Your players start shaking
Shaking.
and you can't make catches. The momentum. Listen, Buffalo. No one don't need to see Buffalo in the playoffs, dog.
Come on,
because
dog.
They are. So answer me this. Let's stay on the Buffalo. So Buffalo and Kansas City, if they make it to the AFC
Neutral
Championship, they will play at a neutral site.
Right.
As a fan who has paid money all year to go to Arrowhead or to where the Bills Mafia play, now you telling me I got to go somewhere else? I'm not a fan of this decision. And I know it was something special and what happened, but why is your man?
I
agree with you.
I like it, though. Here's why I like it.
Okay.
Here's why I like it. Tell you the truth, it takes away that home field advantage. Now you got two teams
But
playing.
don't take home field advantage away from me in
But
week
Rock,
14 or
Rock,
something.
playing at a neutral site. I'm
Who's the
kind of
number
liking
one
that.
seed? Who's the number one seed?
The Chiefs.
Right.
It belongs at Arrowhead.
Exactly.
It's
That's
simple as
dirty,
that.
dog.
That's
Hey, I
why I
didn't
said
say
it's
And then
wrong.
where do they play? At the Toronto Maple?
No,
No,
th-
it's going to be either SoFi, Vegas, or
I was gonna
Jerry
say,
World in
that's
Dallas.
it. Those are the three spots. Because it's all about money. It's all about making sure
understand
the climate is where you can get to it. No cold weather, no snow,
Tell
no
me
ice.
the three again. Dallas,
SoFi, Vegas, or Dallas.
Yeah. And Vegas get a chance to see a winning team come in for the first time.
You cute. You cute, girl.
They really experienced
I
it.
love your makeup.
Two winning
You
teams.
so cute.
So Philly returned Jalen Hurts, but he still looked hurt.
I don't know. I thought Jalen, listen, for a game that they needed to win, I thought Jalen looked like the Jalen he looked like all season. I was very, very disappointed in the Cowboys losing to Washington. But like you said in the beginning of the year, for the last show, my homeboy that's a barber who's a diehard Dallas fan, but he remind me of Super Day because he don't care if they win. He care about the playoffs, and he not a fan. Like, he just remind me of a Super Day. But he was like, there's been no back-to-back champion in this division for the
title,
last
for the
11,
division.
12 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it always, I just moved here 6, 7 years ago, but he was telling me it always come down to the last game of the season. It always come down to the last 2 weeks.
I won't put much stock in what Philly did. Yeah, you got Jalen Hurts back. But when they Philly played the Giants. Giants played no one. They had nobody out in the field. Jones didn't play. Barkley didn't play. They were just trying to get through, get through a healthy. So it was. I can't really tell what Philadelphia is. Philadelphia started off the season hot. They were one of the hottest teams in the NFL. But it's not how you start; it's how you finish. And they struggle at the end because they've started losing players. And we still don't know how healthy Jalen Hurts is right now. And then, for my Cowboys, I sat there on the couch Sunday, sitting there watching it. I knew they were going to disappoint me.
Was it the same situation? They wasn't playing everybody? I don't know.
No, they played everybody.
That's what made it even worse. That made it worse. That made it worse. When you go 11 straight drives up 3 and out. Against the Cowboys.
That's that momentum bear, dog.
I mean, that's that momentum. They got another started.
It was so bad.
They had the muff punt. They had the fumble on the punt return.
Dak was overthrowing balls that was simple throws. It almost looked like they did it on purpose.
He was horrible.
No, it was that bad.
The third person who I heard say
it was so bad.
Dallas game.
It looked like Dallas was just like, hey guys, because the next question is, why would they do that?
And why would you play them then?
And knowing that they got to play Tampa Bay, which is the team you said that Dave, in the beginning of the season. We don't want to see Tampa Bay.
I told you that.
No matter what.
And we got to go to Tampa to play them. The Cowboys are not ready. The Cowboys ended the season. You could say they beat Tennessee. Tennessee didn't play. They didn't have Tannehill that game. They didn't have Derrick Henry that game, and the Cowboys inked out a win in Tennessee.
I don't care.
I don't know how they're playing. They can't pass rush like they did the first 8 games of the season. They're not getting pressure on the quarterback. They can't run the ball right now. And Dak, I'm just telling you, Dak has looked terrible. He's
thrown a lot of interceptions this year.
I think he leads the lead right now, especially after missing for 4 or 5 games.
Listen, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand. I don't care how old this man is. I don't care what kind of bad season the team has had.
Man.
Tom Brady in the playoffs, you don't want that.
I told you I don't.
You don't want that. And
he got the spirit of DeMar before the spirit of DeMar.
And Tampa Bay is like all the way healthy.
Yes.
Like they've been having some players in and out on both sides of the ball all season long. They ain't no excuse. But now everybody's healthy.
When you play the Cowboys, and I'm talking about on the defensive side, they make the guys on the other side, like the Washington's, their third-string quarterback, you couldn't tell he was a third-string quarterback playing against the Cowboys defense. He looked like he was, I ain't going to say Joe Montana or anybody like that, but like he's been in the league for a pretty good while.
Right.
Look what they did to Trevor Lawrence just a few weeks ago. That was his coming out party against the Cowboys, and he hadn't looked back since for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Right.
And then what Dobbs did against the Cowboys, he didn't have great numbers against them, but he had a chance to win that game against the Cowboys. I don't trust this team. I'm just telling you. I don't get hype. I don't get hype for these guys.
Calm down, dog. Calm down.
I've been going through this for I don't know how many years. And
now
my father, we just sit there and we suffer every single year on these Cowboys.
Well, at least your team do it in the playoffs. My team do it normally. I don't like football season after Halloween, dog.
Right. But I'd rather have that because it's almost.
You don't want that.
No, because it's almost.
You don't want that. Now you watching rugby and tennis.
No, my team plays with you. They play with your heart. They make you think that we have a shot. We got a shot. Maybe this week we get 2 wins the next couple of weeks, and then the third week we start losing 3 in a row. Or we don't look good. We get hyped, and then we talk about the playoffs. And you got to answer to your friends like you guys and go, "What's up with the Cowboys, y'all?"
I just want to get to the playoffs.
I'll push y'all away. I'll let y'all know we ain't doing nothing right now.
I just want to get to the playoffs,
and
man.
I know
as a
what
Lions
you're going to
fan.
say, but let me say I was in Nashville. I had a show at Zany's over the weekend and had a chance to kick it with my sister. Man, I spent the night at my sister's house. My sister lives in Murfreesboro, and her husband is a diehard Tennessee Titan fan. If Tennessee beats Jacksonville, they in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. They lose 20-16, but I didn't find out later until the green room that they had lost 7 in a row. You lost 7 in a row, and you still got a chance to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, bad division.
Yeah.
And the quarterback that they had starting First of all, I don't know if he got alopecia of the eyebrows.
Don't do that, man. My wife was talking about that.
I didn't know if something was wrong with him.
Yeah.
He looked like all them kids with the red hats that just want to go to Disneyland.
He was a quarterback in Tennessee a few years ago. Don't do that.
He looked like that in Tennessee too? Okay. I ain't know. He just had a naked face.
It looked worse with the white helmet on.
I know.
It looked worse with the white helmet on.
I was like, dog, I'm not going to watch a special need game, dog.
Talking about dogs, man. Don't do that. Don't do that. It is funny. It is true. It makes you sit there and think while you're watching it.
Not the kids with
Is
the
he
red.
okay? Is he
All the
okay?
kids do be wearing the red
The
bucket
red
hats.
hats. And they look like a 7-year-old, but they 71.
I'm not for this.
You know the cartoon with the dad that's a secret agent?
No, don't
What's
do
the
that.
cartoon? Father, what's it called?
Damn, Griff, come on, man.
The
Grow
American
up, man.
Dad. He
Grow.
look like the alien from American Dad.
Grow up.
No, they ain't getting dog.
They look like they 6 or 7, but they really 77, dog. It's Cocoon Jr. over there, dog.
Stop co-signing on this,
grown
Rock.
man Cocoon.
Stop
You
doing
don't know
this.
what Cocoon is.
It's somebody at home looking in the mirror right now going, that's how I look.
I got the same face. I just kept saying, every time they showed him, I said, okay, maybe I'm tripping. Do his forehead go to where his hairline go?
Okay.
I ain't
let's
know,
go to
dog.
the
Let's go to Detroit.
Okay, so let's talk about Detroit.
Oh,
boys.
man, Detroit.
How big was that for you,
Man,
dog?
let
Going
me tell you
crazy
something.
in the house, right?
Let me tell you something. When Seattle won their game earlier, I was like,
Which is the
dang.
dumbest thing. They should have had them playing at the same time.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I ain't like that.
I didn't
Now
like
we
that.
Got it.
'Cause
Hell,
they had to-
guess
now they
what?
gotta come
my leg hurt, coach.
Yeah.
I can't
But let me
play
tell you why I
today,
love Dan
dog.
Campbell. He said, listen, he comes into the locker room because the reporter asked him, so what'd you tell your team when you found out Seattle won and you guys can't make the playoffs? He says, well, I told my team this, guys. We either going to the playoffs or they're
They're
not.
not going.
I love
Straight
that.
up.
Yeah.
Straight up,
Because
dog.
we got something to do with it.
Straight up,
Green
dog.
Bay ain't
And
going.
they left that game like they won the
What?
Super Bowl.
Come on,
dog.
man. I don't
In
care about-
Lambeau, too.
I
they
don't
pulled
care
it.
about
Awesome.
doggone
It
Aaron
was
Rodgers.
awesome.
We're not going to the playoffs.
And
They're
y'all
not
ain't
going
either.
either. Let's go play some ball.
I think the scary part is especially for you, Rock, golf has looked good. And you look at the Rams right now.
Goodness.
Yeah, they got their Super Bowl with Matthew, but golf is
Golf is probably the best quarterback over the last three to 4 weeks.
last 4 or 5 weeks. he
Yeah,
was.
man.
Has he?
And he had been throwing,
I know the running
He had
back
been throwing
is.
and Jamal
Yeah,
Williams.
he was special,
He
dog.
had 17 touchdowns.
Listen,
No.
we're in
rushing
good hands.
touchdowns.
No,
and he-
I know
and
it's
he
easy
broke-
to say.
He broke Barry Sanders' franchise record.
Of touchdowns?
Touchdown,
In the
rushing
season.
touchdown in the
Finally,
In the
season.
season, right.
In the
gotta
season.
do
Yeah.
Good.
But here's the deal, and I know it's easy to say
And he
this.
came from Green Bay.
It's easy to say this. Next year,
Don't do it.
no, we're in good hands with Dan Campbell and what we got. Come on, dog. We gonna
I
be
believe that too. He's an old school coach.
We're gonna be a problem.
He reminds me of Bill Parcells, and you could tell that he worked under Sean Payton because he take chances and he pulled out all the stops against Green Bay. What I laughed at the end of the game was when Aaron Rodgers and somebody asked him for his jersey.
He was like, no.
I'm kick this way. He said,
Aaron Rodgers was funny as hell after the game.
Did you see it?
It was just him and the
and Cobb.
homeboy.
And Cobbs.
they ain't want to really. He actually talked to the quarterback.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then all the other people was trying to talk to him, and he wasn't talking to him, so they was just touching him like I touched him in his last time in Lambeau.
He was drama, man.
He wasn't talking
He was
to
drama.
nobody, dog.
I can't stand Aaron
And him
Rodgers.
and Cobb walked into the hallway like they went together.
He just didn't do that. He
They
looked
should
around
have
the
played
stadium.
love
He looked
music.
around the stadium like, this is my last time. So
Well,
we
he's
gotta
gone.
go through a whole
But-
freaking offseason
He's
with
gone.
that BS
Oh,
about
no,
him
he
again.
gone, dog.
No, he's gone, dog.
The question is he done with football? Or
Well,
is he done with
they own
Green
his
Bay?
rights right now. They own his
Okay,
rights.
so
And
he
it's
gotta
not like
retire.
last season.
Oh, okay.
It's not like
Okay.
last season where he had a chance to go somewhere else.
I think the
He
announcement
just
is gonna
resigned.
I think the announcement is going to come sooner rather than later.
Before Super
As far as
Bowl.
retirement,
Yeah, no. Green Bay's going to make hey, we decided to
to move on. Which if I'm them, I'll move
Absolutely.
They've
on.
been trying
Do
to
it now.
start that Love boy for 3 seasons.
yeah, I'll move
almost.
on from Aaron Rodgers.
That ain't going to help him.
Jordan Love ain't
The
sweet,
same way
dog.
they moved away, he's getting the same taste he got. Same way that Brett Favre got.
did.
Same
way,
thing.
yeah.
He's getting the same thing.
That's so weird.
What
but
goes
as
around comes around.
I was talking to my Lion homies. So Green Bay just been haunting y'all for the last 3 decades. You go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, you can't win. That game over the weekend we was going crazy, dog. We was so happy for the Lion fans.
Come on, dog.
I was calling all the Lion fans I know, dog. Like, there you go.
Let's get it.
I wish I had a confidence again like that. I like when you said we're here.
We're here.
I can't say that for the Cowboys. I just try to say
I was looking at the stats in the NFL. So, of course, Patrick Mahomes has 5,200 passing yards.
MVP.
41 easy
that's where you're
MVP.
Going? Okay, that's where
Justin
you're going.
Herbert is behind him, 47-39. Tom Brady, 46-94. Kirk Cousins, 45-47. And Joe Burrow, 44-75. But then
boy.
for you, Jared Goff, 44-38.
Absolutely.
While you screaming, Goff is sorry. And then Geno. That's why I'm happy. Then Geno with the 42-82 and Trevor Lawrence. All the people I named is in the playoffs. That's just on that side. Let me go to what you want to say about.
Tom Brady quietly had 4,600 yards.
I mean,
on a bad team.
on the worst.
No
season.
offensive line. Guys hurt on as far as wide receivers. He really never had Julio Jones.
Come on, dog.
That was supposed to be a big thing for him.
So for all the critics talking about Tom Brady's washed up, this will probably be his last year. Hey, throw that doggone record out the doggone. Just throw that out.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, dude, 4,600 yards, man. Yeah. It is what it is.
Rushing, Josh Jacobs led the league with 1,653 yards. That was major
you gotta get
because
that in.
this was his. No, I did have to get it in for 2 reasons. This was his contract year.
Yep.
Yeah.
This was the year that, most people fall off. And guess who else I'm happy for? Saquon Barkley. This was his contract year, too.
He showed up.
He rushed for 1,300 yards. He came in 5th. It was and at wide receiver, without looking, I already know, I believe it's Jefferson.
Oh, yeah. But where's CeeDee Lamb at?
Jefferson. CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, here we go with this.
Is number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He's still not number
6.
1. He's not number 1.
Almost 1,400 yards.
I don't even want to get in that discussion right now.
But here's what's weird. Austin Eckler only has 722 yards. Oh, they go by receptions and stuff. Okay. So CeeDee Lamb finished with 1,359. Justin Jefferson finishes with 1,800
he was the best receiver
yards.
in the NFL this year.
Justin Jefferson, this is his second year. Last year, Devontae Adams was the best wide receiver in the league. Justin Jefferson said, Devontae Adams is awesome. Next year, I'm going to be the best wide receiver. And he did it, dog.
I think the funny part for you guys, for Vegas, you got Jacobs. If you re-sign him, you did Derek.
Devontae said he's staying.
You did Carr. You did Devontae. Yeah, he's gonna stay.
Carr out.
Carr, y'all did Carr wrong. But I think the whole part is
either, dog.
I think the whole part is I think they're gonna bring in another quarterback.
Oh,
and I think it may be Tom Brady.
That's what they've
Tom
been saying
Brady
out loud.
He won't be with the
We don't
Bucs next
want
year.
old ass Tom Brady, dog. I'm gonna say it right now. I don't want him, dog.
You don't want Brady
I
over
don't,
Carr?
dog. We know he football Jesus, dog. I don't want Tom Brady when he's 71 years old,
Well, y'all
dog.
better
I
shift that
don't want
defense,
him,
if
dog.
anything. It's y'all defense, too.
You're right.
Defense played a big part
You're
of that.
absolutely right. And it's also our stupid coach,
Yeah.
Josh McDaniel, who did beat New England in New England, and the first coach to come under Belichick to actually go back and beat him. So
I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders bring back Fitzpatrick out of the broadcasting booth.
First of all,
the
dog,
bearded one.
Yeah, he actually has a fresh beard. Let's talk about these playoff games, man. First one, Miami versus Buffalo.
Listen, again, DeMar
Spirit of DeMar
Hamlin has been discharged from the hospital. So don't be surprised.
He's back in Buffalo, too. He's back in Buffalo now.
Don't be surprised if he's in that locker room, on the field, or in the VIP suite.
Next to the owner.
He's going to be somewhere.
Believe that.
Come on, dog.
I like all the dramatics you built up to, but let's just get to the real point.
And Tua's probably not going to play.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. It don't matter. All that stuff you were building up to. At the end of the day,
Tua not playing.
Tua's not playing. Miami's defense is not as good as it was a year ago. So Buffalo will win this game.
I got Buffalo in that as well. Baltimore, Cincinnati.
What's going on with Lamar Jackson? I don't understand this. I don't.
I was saying the same thing.
He hadn't played in about, a month and a half.
I was about to say 6 weeks. That is a month and a half.
He won his money. But would you be sorry enough to hold out?
A franchise tag.
But would you be sorry enough to hold out when your team needs you?
Look, I love Lamar Jackson, and I can't wait till he gets his money because he's earned it. He deserves it.
He did. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
Cincinnati
Joe Burrows
winning that
is
game with or without.
Joe. Who you got?
I got Cincinnati.
Burrows. Yeah,
I got Joe Burrow. They ended the season on an 8-game winning streak. And remember, they started off the season losing to the Cowboys.
Everybody thought it was over.
Like, he ain't the same.
Come
It's
on,
fluky.
man. Joe said, all right.
And he's cool about it, man.
Yeah, Joe cool.
Joe Burrows he's a quarterback you want, dog.
All day.
He's not going to say nothing. He put it on himself, and he take it out on the next week.
I know we got other teams to get to. He's the best. They're the best team in the
He's
AFC.
the next Tom Brady.
They the best team in the AFC.
And the
with
best
the
team
right
in the
there.
AFC.
Let's
Let's
team
get
in the
to it.
AFC.
Chargers versus Jacksonville.
Jacksonville for the upset.
I like Herbert, dog. Herbert
But if
is
Williams
a
don't
problem.
play for the Chargers, that's going to be the biggest key.
I like
They're not
Jacksonville
the
for the
same-
upset.
The wide receiver Williams, if he doesn't play for the Chargers,
Chargers got a decent defense to hold Sunshine, dog.
There's something magical about
Jacksonville having fun, dog.
Man,
you got to be happy for
they
Duval
playing- they
County.
young and dumb.
It's
That's the
Duval
whole
County,
point.
dog.
you can't explain it. There's something about like, okay, this team right here, okay, it's easy to say, oh man,
because
come
there's
on,
no
Chargers
pressure.
gonna win.
There is no pressure.
Yeah, you're right.
At the end of the day, there's no
You're right.
pressure.
That's scary. I got
They
Jacksonville.
playing on
now.
house money.
I'm going with the Chargers. Who you got?
I got Jacksonville.
Okay. And whoever wins that game plays the Chief. It's going to be a problem for Chargers or Jacksonville in that game. Let's go to the NFC. Geno Smith versus the 49ers. This will be his third time playing them this season.
I hate that they got to play
A
Mr.
division
Irrelevant.
game and a division game.
Come
too.
on, man.
That's a division
With
opponent,
San Francisco,
man.
don't be surprised if the 49ers make it to the play. I mean,
I
make it
know.
to the Super Bowl, bro.
I know.
With Brock Purdy.
I know.
So, Geno, man, we love you, brother.
Get
Great
your money.
season. Get your
Get
money.
your money. This
But it's
is
about
the
to be
end.
bye-bye time.
The
But I
49ers
don't
defense is just way better than.
Come on, dog. Come
See,
on.
which 49er defense is going to show up? Because
one
I
that's
know,
gonna win.
man.
I know what they did against you guys a couple of weeks ago. You
Yeah.
guys put up 34 points against that 49er defense, right?
I think they was on some don't care, dog. I felt like the 49ers was on,
We just
they was on
gonna
some
get
don't
through.
care, dog.
Yeah.
We on some don't care, coach.
But it's a division game between Seattle. I know it's a wild card game, but a division game where you see each other all the time. They know each other. Pete Carroll knows his team.
Yeah.
The scary part about it is I'm going to pick the 49ers, but I think it's going to be a real close game.
I'm gonna go with Seattle. I
Whoa,
would like to.
that's
I
a
just
big
want to
call.
see the. So now Geno is the man. Everybody has forgot Sierra husband, who,
I like that.
by the way, is probably going to suck a pacifier the whole summer.
I know you're going with that. I know where you're going with that. I had to wait.
He is a whole child right now, dog. The way
I just
he
heard it
lost.
sucked. I just heard it
He-
sucked.
And the Broncos did suck, but it was led by Russell Wilson, man. Like this is why we
He
got
was
you
horrible.
$263 million.
His mind. I don't know
You
where
know,
his
I
mind.
hate the Broncos, dog, but damn,
And
don't
it's
do the
guaranteed
franchise
money.
like
But
that,
it's guaranteed
dog.
money. It doesn't matter.
Don't do the franchise like that. I want Geno. This is his time to shine. Even if he could get one game in the playoffs,
Now, see,
it'll
that's
leave
a
his
bold
legacy.
prediction right there. I like that. I'm not going to make it with you. I'm going to go with San Francisco.
You got the 49ers, too?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go to this second game. The Giants versus the Vikings, which to me is such a washy game.
Giants
Like,
going to win this one. The Giants, because I don't trust Kirk Cousins.
with Jefferson being the number one wide receiver in
The Giants already played them before. And yes, Minnesota won, but it was a close game. The Giants can play you close. They play an ugly, nasty, scrappy game.
Okay.
And they're going to make it nasty for Cousins. They know Cousins. They've seen him before.
Cousins will let you down, dog.
That's
by
what I
the way.
mean. He's like the Cowboys, like all these other guys. He will let you down.
Kirk will hurt your feelings, dog. Kirk will have
Especially
your
when he took his
stomach
shirt
hurt.
off and was dancing on the plane
Oh,
with the
yeah.
goal.
When they was
That
7-0,
hurt me.
what was that,
Yeah,
7-0
yeah.
or
Yeah,
8-0?
yeah,
Who
that's-
you got in the game?
I got the Giants.
So I think those are all the reasons why I think Kirk Cousins is frustrated and tired of being a solid quarterback in the league, continue to put up solid numbers every single year, but
Solid.
never is in the same conversations as the upper tier
top tier,
quarterbacks.
yeah.
You're absolutely right.
So because of that, he's going to show out. I got Minnesota
Going
to
with
win.
Minnesota too. That's 2-1.
Wow,
And
okay.
here go the game. Dallas, Tampa Bay. Your team, I will say, with unhumble pie, made it to the playoffs like they always do, but they're playing the opponent that you said no matter what, who is in the playoff, you do not want to see this team. Who you got? Dallas against football Jesus.
Now look at me right here. I'm a Cowboy fan, true and blue. I bleed the Cowboys, but I've been hurt. I've cried.
You're supposed to say I bleed blue and white, not the Cowboys. That mean they cut your arm.
And Tony Romo
Michael Irvin gonna come out.
Can I have my point? Can I have my moment?
Sorry about
Can I have my
that.
moment? I mean, I'm sitting here going, I sit at home sometime. I'm telling how it used to be with the Cowboys. When they would sit there and they'll lose a game for you, they'll break your heart. I turn the TV off thinking I'm the jinx for this team. All these years, I have not been the jinx. This team will not show up on Monday night. They will not show up in that wild card game. They'll probably play them close, but at the end of the day, you're playing Tom Brady. And they're going to make Leonard Fournette look like he's Leonard Fournette from LSU. Not the Leonard Fournette.
That man playing against boys.
Who still wear the same shoulder pads?
Same shoulder pads and everything. I don't trust the Cowboys. They haven't had a pass rush over the last 5 or 6 weeks. Running game has went down the last 2 or 3 weeks. Dak has been horrible. He's hit spots here and there, but he's been horrible in so many games, and he's leading the league with interceptions. I don't trust this team. I'm sorry. They will lose this game. And McCarthy might be out as the head coach because you lose in the first round.
I'm going to let the sports genius go last. I'm going against you. I'm actually going to take Dallas. I think with the intestinal fortitude that they had to make it this far, that they know who they're playing against. They're better than Tampa Bay. They're better than Tampa Bay. If the Dallas Cowboys play like the Cowboys who've been playing in them first 10 games, they can turn it around. I got the Cowboys.
You're right as far as they are a better team. Dallas Cowboys are a better team than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, period. But I think they're going to find a way to lose it.
Okay.
And
there we go.
It's going to be mental mistakes that's going to happen throughout the game. Now, don't get me wrong. Tampa Bay going to make mistakes. Brady may
throw
both
one. Bad teams.
Yeah,
they're both bad
Tampa
teams.
Bay,
okay,
Brady may
it.
throw 1 or 2 interceptions, but the game's going to be close enough that
Who do you trust?
Jesus.
Who do you trust? Exactly.
Tom Brady is going to find a way to pull it out, and Sean Payton's going to be the next quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
The next head coach?
Next head coach, yeah, there you go. Sean Payton going to be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
That's interesting.
I like that.
I don't
Sean
see it
Payton
happening.
On the end. I ain't mad at that.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't see it. Because he want to go. He is
the Cowboys.
Franchisee.
The Cowboys
head
are
coach.
good enough to make it to the Super Bowl. Their team is that good.
Yeah.
But they're going to find a way to lose it.
I think I like the Sean Payton thing. I've been saying it all year. That's why I want the Cowboys to lose the way I didn't want them to be in this position they're in right now because it still gives Jerry a thought in his mind. I don't want to rush to get rid of McCarthy. But at the end of the day, Sean Payton still might not come here because at the end of the day, he still want to shop for the groceries. And I don't think Jerry Jones is going to let him do it.
Can I just say that your whole division minus 1 team is in the playoffs?
Yes, sir.
And they have called your division horrible. Guess what? From now on, my new horrible division is Jacksonville, Houston, the Colts, and the Titans. That's my horrible division in the NFL. I'm going to have a lot more respect for the NFC East. They wasn't bums at all.
On that note, that's a wrap for episode number 34 of the I Hate the Homies podcast, man. Continue to subscribe, download. The 5-star reviews are amazing. And we love you guys. Rock Teasy is who I be.
My name is Griff. I lost a $20 bet, and I don't even bet. That's why I shouldn't bet. I knew I shouldn't. When I said it, I was like, I never bet. I'm not a gambler. And I hate the homies.
The elephant is still in the room, and I still want my $20. And at the end of the day, the Michigan Wolverines are still trash, and I call them trash all season long. I am Super Dave, but guess what?
We don't care
about them Wolverines.
Deuces.
Oh.
I hate the homies.